People in a small community in St. Margarets Bay are in a fight with a rich celebrity heiress over access to a public beach. Locals in Hacketts Cove have always used a wooded path to access Barneys Beach. That was until the land was bought by entertainer Eleanor McCain, daughter of Wallace McCain, one of the richest families in Canada. Now, McCain's lawyers have made it clear the locals are not to cross her land, cutting off beach access. Amy Johnson has been going to Barneys Beach all her life. Her parents have been threatened with legal action if they continue to cross McCain's land. We've reached Amy Johnson in Hacketts Cove. Hello, Amy.
Hi there. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks. Amy, how did you and your family discover that there was going to be a problem accessing the beach?
It wasn't until we received a letter from Eleanor McCain's lawyer stating that we weren't allowed to cross property anymore. There had been no signs, and the community had no idea that we weren't allowed to use the old path or the woods to access the beach anymore.
And when did you receive this letter?
It was probably about 4 weeks ago.
And you said there were signs that went up. What do the signs say?
Private property, and those were just put up about 2 weeks ago.
And the path, which used to be kind of a clay path, now has a very heavy rock section, doesn't it?
Yes, it's definitely not somewhere you'd be wanting to walk your dogs or your kids.
So this letter to your parents was from McCain's lawyer, and here's what it says. This is to give you formal notice that neither you nor any of your family is authorized to enter the lands of Eleanor McCain for any reason, and any unauthorized entry in the future will result in legal action. It goes on to say that Miss McCain does not wish to be unpleasant about this, but if you are intent on being bad neighbors who do not respect the property of others, Miss McCain will have no option but to take whatever steps are necessary to protect her property. How did you and your parents feel about receiving that letter?
Well, at first we were quite concerned, and obviously, but we were confused as well, considering that we had never been confronted by any of her security guards on her property. The only interactions that we've had with her or her employees were on Crown land at Barneys Beach, and we're allowed to be there. So we have been told to leave, but we have a right to be there, so why would we leave?
So this was the first time you were told you couldn't cross her land to get to the beach?
Yeah, we had never been told that we couldn't cross her land until this letter came. There was no sign saying we couldn't use it until we received a letter in the mail from the lawyers.
This is her property, so it's her right, I guess, to restrict access. What do you think of this?
You know what? She bought the land. I completely understand that she can do whatever she wants with the land, and, that's what makes the community upset, is because it's not so much the blocking of the access that really frustrates people. It's a big concern, but it's the fact that she's going as far as to harassing people while at the beach. There's other ways to access the beach, the shoreline, and when we're there, that is when, the community's being filmed or harassed and followed. And also on the side streets, her security guards are patrolling the streets and following people, and, it's made the community really stressed out.
You've been filmed while on the beach, you say?
Yes, if you're on the beach, you can see her security guards filming you.
And you've been followed on the beach?
Yes, beginning on Crown land that she doesn't own, so therefore her security guards have no right to tell anybody to leave that property. All the incidents have been happening on Barneys Beach, not any time had it been crossing her path or her property.
Do you accept that you will not be allowed to cross the McCain land to access the beach, or do people intend to continue to use it?
I completely accept it. I mean, it is her property. I may not understand why she needed to buy an additional 30 acres after she had already purchased her land that she owned her house on. It makes us upset that she decided to buy the land only because it had the access, but we go by shore. My cousin lives down the shoreline, and we have permission from him to cross in front of his house, and we walk the shore to get to the beach now. It just means it's extremely dangerous for us, for children, and for seniors. So we have other ways of getting there, and she can do what she wants with her property, but it was more so her intentions behind the purchase, which really upset the community.
Meaning what?
Meaning she had bought 40 acres to build her house on a few years ago, and when she noticed people were getting to the beach that I'm pretty sure she thought she had purchased, because she would come down and ask people to leave her beach, that is when she seeked out the owner of the other piece of property that had the access way and gave him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and then she decided that I'm going to block off the access way to people I know use it because these people introduced me to this beach years ago.
What's the talk in the community about this?
Well, everybody's pretty upset. I mean, not only has the safe access way been taken, which is fine, she bought the property, and people feel like their privacy has been invaded, jeopardized the safety of the children. It's not the small, quiet community anymore with dump trucks constantly coming in and people feeling that they can't walk the streets without feeling like they're being watched.
You're facing a formidable opponent here with a lot of money.
Yeah, more money than I have.
So what, if anything, are you planning to do?
As of right now, I'm going to continue to use Barneys Beach. I have to walk the shoreline to get there, but I know that it is Crown land, and I'm allowed to be there, and I won't be walking through Eleanor's property. I just hope that when I'm at the beach that I can avoid being harassed, interrogated, or followed and filmed.
Amy, thank you so much for taking our call. We'll watch to see what happens next.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
That's Amy Johnson. She's a resident of Hacketts Cove, Nova Scotia.